Let's do this. Hello, everybody. This is Danny
and Wanda
from Deep South Homestead. All right. I guess we'll just sit here for a few minutes and wait for everybody to get in the room.
I don't know. Just talk.
Just talk.
What do we do? What have we done today?
What hadn't we done today might be easier to explain.
Man, we ain't
I don't know.
busy.
I'm beginning to wonder if we're even online.
Oh, we are. See there? Papa
There
Truck.
we go. Papa Truck jumped
Mark,
in.
Red
Mark. Or it could be Jamie.
Nah, it's Mark.
Is it Mark?
Pretty sure it's Mark.
Pretty sure it's Mark. All right. Greetings and good evening.
Jamie's going to be working with the animals this time
hello,
of the
Angie,
day.
and Homestead and the Pioneer Way.
Angie's Pantry.
That's what I said. Hello, Angie.
I thought you said Andy.
No, Angie. Mama Tried, Homestead Minimalist, Sharon Jackson, Valerie D, Cynthia P, The Music Well. Hello, folks. Oh, Stacy, Mark, Andrea, Time to Sow.
Quake Lake.
Glenn from Oklahoma.
Lou, just Lou.
Barbara.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, we got them. They're piling in here now. I guess the internet's finally catching up. Our internet's been slow today, so we were kind of figuring.
Seeing if it does anything at all. It's just kind of.
There's a new one. Uncle Mike's Crazy Artistic Homestead Madness.
Wow.
Howdy, y'all. That's a mouthful.
We need to check them out.
Yeah.
Uncle Mike's Crazy Artistic Homestead Madness. Oh, that's a mouthful when you try to tell somebody your channel.
There's Miss Sheila. I see we have chat replay now.
Yes, they did add that. There's Doc D.
Doc D, the moon pie girl.
Yeah, we've
Mud
got
pie, not moon pie.
Future Dreams to Reality.
Miss Sarah.
Marshall Farms and Laurie family.
Miss Debbie
All our
Williams.
friends are coming in. So.
All right. Laurie Family Homestead. I don't know if that's Heidi or if that's actually Brian. Could be either one of them.
Probably Heidi.
Sandy's Travel and Gardening Adventures. Man, we got a whole pile of people. The Larson family. JoJo Crazy
Wholesome
Cat.
Roots.
BJ Stacy.
All right. So what did you do today? We've talked to enough people right now.
Okay. What have I done? What hadn't I done today?
I don't know what you hadn't
to
done.
explain. Well, start the day off. I drove 45 tomato sticks in the ground with a sledgehammer.
Pretty much.
Oh, man, and that about wore my arms out.
I think I videoed you. Some of it.
Some of it, and then we
I
watered.
handed you the steaks.
You handed me the steaks, you did do that.
And I helped water.
I let you water while I toted the bucket.
Yeah, there's...
Hello, Olin, our neighbors down the road here.
Yeah.
Wanny and Donda.
The Wanny and Donda show.
There you go.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Okay, there we got Pat from Birmingham. There's the Marshall Farms.
Marshall Farms says you have a new hat. Show them your log ox.
I have a log ox. This is courtesy of Alderman Farms.
Tommy Alderman.
Tommy Alderman took me down and gave me a hat. Told me I need to get me one of them things and give it a try.
Did I make this quilt? No. I'm not that coordinated.
No.
I could. My mom does quilting, but I don't. Did Debbie make this one?
Yes, Debbie made that one.
Danny's previous wife made this one.
Yeah.
She made lots and lots of quilts.
She made lots of quilts. She loved quilting. Yep, that was her thing.
Hey there, two family. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, if anybody wants to know anything about our Deep South Homestead Gathering, I have a playlist, but I think I'm minus quite a few folks, but Two Family Homestead has a playlist too, and believe me, I think I saw she had 80-something videos in there.
Yep.
And I don't think mine has 80-something, so I've got to go check her playlist and see who I'm missing. So if you're interested, we've got one. It's called Subscriber Gathering, and I don't know what Two Families playlist is called, but you can find out anything.
You can find out anything about our gathering over at Two Family Homestead.
And if you miss anything in ours, check hers.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Mama Mitzi says we tilled the old pig pen for this year's garden. It ought to make a good garden then if you tilled up a pig pen.
That ought to. Hello from Nova Scotia.
Jennifer Johnson, my daughter. She was here today, wasn't she?
For a while.
For a while.
And Trey.
And Trey, yeah. Trey, it's time for you to go to bed.
That doesn't work on
It
Trey.
doesn't work on Trey, does it?
You have to worry with Lucas and...
Lucas and them's the one I have to worry with.
You tell Lucas. Lucas will go to bed.
If we tell
He was
Lucas,
actually watching me cook today.
Was he?
Yeah, Rusty sent me a message, said Lucas is watching you cook, and I go, where are the cameras?
Oh, where is he at in the house here then? Huh?
He said no, he was watching me and Jen do the Cherokee pumpkins.
Yeah.
He said he liked to watch people cook.
So
we have youngsters watching
We got
us.
youngsters.
That's what I'm saying, youngsters.
Yeah. That's a word, ain't it?
I guess. All right, you made me hungry for tater liquid.
Tater liquor.
Oh.
That's Doc D. That's Miss D.
Had
She
to go
said
dig a few taters. So you've got taters too. See, people thought we were crazy.
She said, was it her mama or her grandma used to call it tater liquor?
I
saw the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the white potato, the white gravy in them too. I mean, that's something that I really like. But I didn't make a white gravy that day. I didn't think. Well, Danny can't have the regular flour.
I can't eat the regular
flour. And almond flour wouldn't make white liquor. It wouldn't taste the same anyway.
No, it wouldn't either. No.
It's better to leave it plain than add something stupid to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Homestead Heart.
Yeah.
So
anyway, what did we do? After we drove 45 tomato stakes and watered 45 tomato plants this morning, we came up and actually planted 18 more plants.
Was it
tomato
only 18?
plant? Yeah, only 18 more tomato plants and 9 more basil plants in our Back to Eden garden.
Did we put that video up? Oh yeah, we did. That's the one we put up this morning.
Yeah, that's the one we put up this morning where we use the
corn cobs.
Yeah.
All right. And so Amish paste was in the Cherokee garden.
Amish
what did
paste,
you put back out here?
These are the Cherokee purples.
You did do Cherokee purples, okay.
Yeah, we got 45 Cherokee purples. Okay, hold on here.
Have I tried the Thrive yet? No,
not yet.
We're planning on doing a video sometime in the next week or so on some.
Future Dreams Reality. Miss Sarah said, what is considered a youngster? What age do you stop being one? That depends on your mentality and how you carry yourself.
And it also depends on the person that's calling you a youngster.
Yeah.
Because I've seen 80-year-old people call 50-somethings youngsters.
Yeah, we call somebody 30 years old still wet behind the ears.
We call them youngsters.
Yeah, they're still youngsters, yeah.
So, as the older we get, the older you get, you're still a youngster. Yeah. Just putting it that way. All right.
Okay. JoJo Crazy Cat said, I only grew 4 tomato plants last year. Wow. 4 tomato plants wouldn't even get us started, would it?
No. Rice flour makes great gravy. Yes, it does.
Great white gravy.
I know, but Danny doesn't eat rice flour
I can't eat rice flour. Rice flour it's for grain, and I can't do the grains. I'm eating pizza with turmeric and fresh ground pepper. Sorry I didn't have any garlic.
I've got garlic. You want to bring me some pizza?
Yeah. Wanda loves her some pizza now.
I do, but I like veggie pizzas. I mean, I don't mind the pepperonis on some, but I like the cheese and the veggies on it.
Two families said, heck, we're still wet behind the ears.
I agree.
I agree. We probably are, according to them.
Okay.
Dee says, I'll let you know when I get older.
Nicole says she's a baby. Yep, pretty much.
Pretty much.
She's still the baby.
Yeah, still the baby.
I consider Nicole our baby anyway.
Yeah.
I think she's she might be close to the same age as Amanda and Future Dreams.
EH Nebraska says, have you tried the Cherokee White Eagle corn before your Cherokee garden? I'm planning on planting a patch this year. We just planted a patch of it in our garden for the first time this year. Me and Ms. Amanda from Freedom Acres planted our Cherokee garden, and we planted the White Eagle Cherokee corn in it.
Yes, we do almond flour, and I know almond flour will make a batter, but it doesn't seem to work like the white flour does.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can make it. There's Freedom Acres.
Freedom Acres and Domingos Mundo.
Well, we will see her again for a few minutes in a couple of days. But Freedom Acres was here how many days? She came on Monday.
Amanda's like one of our kids. I mean, so it doesn't matter.
I think she left Thursday.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm in love with that girl. She's like a daughter.
And she stayed. It was just something. She was in the kitchen. She was out in the garden.
I like it because Amanda knows how to do it all.
Yeah, she does. She
knows how to wash dishes. See, that's what Wanda misses Amanda.
I do.
She knows how to cook.
She knows how to cook.
She knows how to wash dishes. She knows how to clean. She knows how to work in the garden.
Yep.
I mean,
pretty much.
she's a multi-talented young lady.
Well, I miss Sheila and Jen
Well,
too,
Sheila
they
and
took
Jen,
over
they took
and they
over.
kept the house going, and you know, I've had some good help in the last few weeks. That's been pretty awesome. And before that, Brian and Heather.
Brian and Heather was here.
And Heather helped me a good bit.
Heather helped all the time. Y'all,
She's good
Wanda's
with
just
editing.
missing everybody.
I need Heather for editing. I need Jen and Sheila for cooking, and I need Amanda for washing dishes.
Washing dishes and helping in the gardens.
Yep, helping in the garden. See, if I had them all here all the time, I wouldn't have to do anything.
You wouldn't have to do anything.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all want to come
Okay.
stay permanently?
There's Miss Stephanie Noose. Oh, let's see. There was
Stephanie.
questions asked back here. I'm going to have to back up for just a minute,
Yeah,
guys.
we were talking.
We were
I was
talking.
fantasizing
Yeah,
about
she was
having all my
Sitting
friends
here
here,
fantasizing on
taking
present.
care of everything.
Is there any way for me to get some blueberries, some of your blueberry starts? Seeker of Truth, we don't really have any blueberry starts.
We bought our
We
trees.
buy all of our trees
2-year-old plants.
as 2-year-old plants for what we pay, $5 a piece for them, something like that.
I thought it was 3 for 2-year-old plant. Was it 3 or 5?
Well, the first time we paid $3 a piece. The second time we had to pay $5
yeah,
a
I
piece.
think that's what it was.
Yeah. Because
And then
there's a
we
local.
didn't have any last year. Remember, we called and
Right,
asked.
they didn't have any last year
And I
because
don't
there's a
know about
local
this year.
nursery just north of us here. No, we called about blackberries.
I may have started something. Jen says we're all moving in. We got to build a bigger house.
We have to build a bigger house.
Dominguez Mundos.
Okay, Tammy says that was an awesome idea about the corn cobs and tomatoes.
Yeah, he's been doing that a while.
Oh, Jennifer Johnson said, Daddy, I guess you need to become a polygamist to keep Wanda happy.
That would be wrong.
That would be wrong, but it would be good because she would be happy.
Yeah, I would have women doing all
Yeah.
kinds of work around here, and I could just chill.
Oh,
Ordered some Danny corn today.
what brand grinder do you use? Well, I can tell you the one I don't like.
Anybody want one?
We have one we'll sell somebody.
It's
at
the
a-
Wonder Meal.
The Wonder Mill.
We've
That's
used
electric one, not the hand one, but the electric one.
We do not like the Wonder Meal for grinding corn. We have a hand one that we use to grind corn and cornmeal and grits, and it works pretty good. And I see Heather Laurie popped in.
Yeah.
And so I like that, but it takes a lot of muscle with the hand grinder. And we thought we would go to an electric grinder, and everybody was giving rave reviews on the Wonder Mill. Well, it does not do really well for corn. It might with wheat berries and all that stuff, but corn is just tougher. What's going on now?
Jen said, tell the barking dog neighbor that we want his house for a community center.
Offer enough money and maybe he'll sell.
Marshall Farms said, where do you get the blueberry plants that cheap? They're $12.95 around here. It's a place called
Grady's?
Coggins? Tim Coggins in
No,
Hattiesburg.
But
Yep.
I think it's called
No,
Grady's.
it's Tim Coggins
That's
Nursery.
the man's name, but
But
it's.
that's the name of the nursery.
I don't think so.
It's
Hold
called-
on. I got to prove him wrong.
She's going to try to prove me wrong. Tim Coggins is the owner. He's the owner of the nursery.
Yeah, he is
Um,
the owner. I got that. But
I know that for a fact.
I know that's the name of the. Let me see. I know Tim Coggins is the owner. Let me see what is. Blueberries. O'Grady's.
O'Grady's.
O'Grady's Nursery.
That's Tim Coggins.
Wait, no, that's in
that's
Lucedale.
in Lucedale, O'Grady's.
Sandy Run Nursery
Sandy Run
Farm
Farm
and
and Nursery.
in Purvis, Mississippi.
Yeah, Tim Groggins.
Is the owner.
Yeah.
Sandy Run Farm and Nursery. Yeah, we were checking at O'Grady's, but we didn't ever get any from them.
Papa's truck said new channel, instead of sisters' wives, it would be farmer wives.
I could do that.
She could do that, yeah.
And I probably,
I'd probably be the one to have to leave.
yeah, you would be leaving
The
because
women folk would just take the place over.
we almost did the last
Well,
night.
I mean, y'all got to understand, it's been tough around here. I've been the only guy living in a house full of a dozen women, just about.
He's handled it well.
I've handled it well. It wasn't easy. I mainly just stayed out of the way.
He did. He did really good. I mean, for a while it was Brian and Heather, and him and Brian were working and doing stuff,
Yep.
and then Sheila and Jen
came for a week or so there, seemed like, and then
I
it
was
was
here about a week.
About a week, and then
And we took Jen out goofing off and stuff.
I had to be a chauffeur. They made me a chauffeur in a car I didn't even know how to drive.
That was funny.
They made fun of me because I ain't never drove one of these cars that you just push a button on. You know?
That was probably.
And I couldn't figure out. We got one place, and I just stayed in the car because I couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Yeah, I wish I'd have filmed that.
It was.
He let the window down.
I'm telling you, man, it was weird. I told her, I said,
I'm just gonna stay in the car.
I'm just gonna stay. I told him, I said, y'all go ahead. I'm just gonna stay in the car. And
I didn't catch on, and then I walked back, and he goes, I don't know how to shut this off.
I told her, I said, I don't know how to turn this thing off.
Oh, I laughed. I wish I'd had the camera on him. That was funny. So we had Jen and Sheila here for a while. Then we had Amanda for the last week. But Amanda's been helping him do all kinds.
Amanda's been my lifesaver. We got out in the garden and we worked like a horse.
Yeah, and he even took her and found her one of the forked sticks.
Took her to the woods and found her a forked stick to push sweet potato things in the ground. Even burned Deep South Homestead's logo in the handle.
You did, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Mama Tried says her sister bought a new car and it looks like a UFO on the inside.
Look, this thing had a camera. I was trying to back up and they said, well, you just look at the camera. I said, I ain't looking at no camera. I'm going to actually turn around and look behind me.
Oh, I saw Marshall Farms got their snap beans.
Got their snap beans, corn, tomatoes finally planted. They said it finally dried up enough.
We got our rattlesnake beans. Some of them are up just popping through the ground. So we're hoping by Monday. But now
I planted the Michoacan. The Michoacan blue corn in the bottom field, the Hopi Indian corn.
Yeah, we did get that done.
Charlotte says, y'all have some nice potatoes. Well, they're up about knee-high right now. If we can keep Amanda out of the potato patch, they'll probably have some potatoes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jen says hers is operated by using buttons, too.
Yep. Yeah, one time it rolled off with me.
Oh, that car did, didn't
it? It did. I just didn't put it in park. I forgot to.
Because it's weird.
Secret of Truth says, Danny, any new All God's Children coming up? Well,
he still has that one in his head.
I still got that one in my head, but I've been so overrun with females here, there ain't been much time to do anything else.
Hopefully, he's got to have some chill time to think about how to put it together. All God's Children takes him a few
All God's Children takes some work, yeah. Susan says, my Danny corn has been in the freezer for 2 years. Do you think it'll still be good for planting? It'll stay in there for 25 years. It'll still be good for planting.
How are our potatoes? I guess Heather's wanting to know, is the potatoes they planted over there, are they coming up?
I don't know. I ain't looked. Brian asked me that question the other day, and we didn't go look.
South Georgia wants to know.
What day did you plant taters? It would have been January the...
I don't know what day, but it would have been the end of January.
It was at the end of January, probably about the 20th of January.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's
So I don't know. All right, so we've had.
Oh, let's see what else we got. We got English peas blooming like crazy.
And they're not very big.
Well, they're taller than you think. I went out there and looked today. They're about 1.5 feet tall.
Are they getting on up there?
Yeah, they're getting on up there. Finally got it where they can grow. Turnips are looking awesome.
Yeah, the turnips, and we canned turnips this week.
We did. We canned turnip greens.
And the fingerling potatoes are looking awesome. We've not tried to dig any of those. We're going to leave those alone because they don't get very big anyway, and we want them to have all the time they can do. Then I dug some ginger up. I got a video, but I hadn't on different things, but I hadn't got them all done. I'm so far behind in videos. But I dug some ginger up, so now I have all fresh ginger, and I'm talking big pieces.
Big pieces of ginger now.
So JM at the Nut House sent this start And I'm telling you, I got enough ginger to have tea for a while. I'm waiting on my mint to get on up because I'm going to make some mint and ginger.
Delane's asking, is it too late to plant sweet potatoes to make slips? Not really, it's not.
No.
Because you can plant sweet potatoes all during the summertime, so you're good to go.
Can you preserve all seeds by keeping them in the freezer?
No.
Some of them don't need to be there?
No, some of them don't need to be in the freezer. Tammy said, do you grow chicory or coffee? No. We probably should, but we don't.
No, I did have, what was that Ratachico, isn't that
You
chicory?
grew Ratachico, which is a form of chicory,
Yeah.
but it's not actual.
Okay. I was going to say I did grow that.
Homestead Heart talking about keeping seeds in the freezer. The only seeds we keep in the freezer are corn and
wheat or anything like
wheat or something like that. We put that in there. We will put peas and butter beans in there for a short period of time. Field peas, that is. Now, not English peas, but field peas, because field peas will have worms in them.
Yeah.
And we put them in the freezer for about a week to kill the worms, and then we take them back out.
See, now Jen's getting on to you. She's going to have to come stay with us while I make you drink ginger tea. See?
I know it, Jen. I appreciated all the time you took care of me, girl. I really appreciated it.
I couldn't believe she got him to drink ginger tea. She just, I had to walk off and say, here, you get him to drink the ginger tea. Are we going to sell some of the ginger? No, I didn't dig all my ginger up. I only dug one piece up because I wanted to plant an apple tree there.
Yeah.
And I moved over and put one little small piece back in the ground so I don't lose the spot with ginger growing. But I brought in all the rest of it, and it was 2 big, huge hunks of ginger, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
Seeker of Truth says, well, first of all, Laura says, I love ginger. Does it grow up north? I mean, in the snow, if the snow ever melts. Well, if you're where it snows right now a lot, it's probably going to be difficult to grow ginger. But now you can grow it in a pot.
They could grow it in a pot.
And bring it in during the wintertime. You could do that and it'd do fine.
Yeah. Or you could, maybe if you planted it like when it warms up, and then in the fall before it freezes, dig it up and then plant some more. You may have to plant every year. It wouldn't be like me leaving it in the ground. If it had frozen really, really hard for a long period of time, I'd probably lost my ginger.
No, it's not too late to plant elderberries, and no, it's not too late to start tomatoes from seeds. They'll just be late tomatoes.
Jen says she has a strap. You better behave.
Would the corn cob method work the same in southwest Ohio? Yes, it will work anywhere. What's the best way to use Danny corn? We use ours to make grits and cornmeal out of, and the chat is going too fast for me to keep up. Wonder when your dandelions bloom. I want some of the seeds for my own cross pollinations with dandelions here. Okay, Miss Sheila.
You remind me, because they're getting ready to bloom now.
Kenneth says it's sleeting here in North Carolina right now.
Ooh, I'm glad it is not.
Guys,
here.
I'm telling y'all about this grand solar minimum that's coming in here for the next 15 years. It's going to get colder. This year is only the first year of 15 years to come.
Okay, Donnie Carter wants to know about the Cherokee tan pumpkins. I put some on Etsy this morning. I don't know if there's any left. Once I package these seeds, if there's any left, I'll put some more, but it'll probably be sometime tomorrow. You'll just have to keep check. We've got 4 left, and we haven't cut into. We're about once a month we cook the pumpkins because we're seeing how long they'll go.
Everybody's saying this weather is killing them. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but anyone who lives up north is going to have to deal with this.
Danny, you've got Sam ready to plant raised beds in the backyard. He's converted. All right.
You can convert or you can starve.
That's pretty cool. Ask Sam, does he need some seed? I'll just egg him on.
Papa's Truck says, do you plant any certain direction?
You can plant left to right or right to left.
I plant in the ground, straight down in the ground. That's about as much as I know how to tell.
Up and down, sideways, crossways.
Two Family Homestead says snow is a 4-letter word, so enough.
I think they're all getting snow. I just don't understand.
No, it's this grand solar minimum. I'm telling y'all.
What does the cayenne taste like in tea? I'm not sure. I put it in some types of teas. No, I don't put it in all types.
I'm agree. I'm
Would you
I'm
talk
with.
more about how plants cross-pollinate and how to know and avoid that? Can you tell them that right quick?
Uh, biggest thing with plants cross-pollinating is making sure that you check the genuses on them. Any variety of tomatoes are going to cross-pollinate. Any variety of cucumbers are going to cross-pollinate that I'm aware of. Any variety of squashes, except winter squashes, will cross-pollinate. Winter squashes can cross-pollinate with summer squashes. Some cucumbers can cross-pollinate with cantaloupes and stuff like that. So there's just, you got to look at that genus name on them and look it up and find it and see if they are compatible or if they're not compatible.
Tim Beverly said plant root side down and green side up.
That's some very wise information, Tim.
Oh.
I'm trying to think, is there any other circumstance where that would not work?
Angie says, have we tried the Thrive yet? No, Angie, I
Not
haven't.
yet.
I will do a video on it when we do. I'll probably try some when I have some company here. We'll probably eat some because I'm pretty sure Danny probably won't because of some of the possible chemicals that in it or something, but I will try it.
Danny, is Southwest Tennessee going to be affected? I'm about 5 hours north of you. If you're 5 hours north of me, you're right on the Mississippi-Tennessee line, just around Jackson, Tennessee, or somewhere down in that area, Memphis, across. So you are going to be about 4 to 5 hours yourself from where they say that it's going to stay cold all year long.
Do you think
us in the South is going to get another freeze? I'm certainly hoping not, because I have too many things planted that it
We'll
would
lose a
destroy.
lot.
I would lose a lot, but
I
according
saw,
to my records, we're not. But
I saw somebody had already lost 500 tomato plants.
oh,
And Jay just popped in.
JoJo said, I did not know carrots had to grow 2 years. Now I know. They grow 2 years to get seeds, not to eat, but to get seeds.
The first year you can eat them, but if you want to save seeds, you have to leave them for the
leave them
in the ground for the second year.
Mama Tried says, is it too late to plant carrots in zone 8B? You can plant them. They probably won't do good at all, and they will be bitter tasting. Because summer carrots are always bitter tasting.
And we plant some because we need carrots, but we use them in soups and stews. What's Etsy store? Type in deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com and you'll go over to our Etsy store. It's where we have seeds, our cookbook, Danny's sweet potato manual, and our English pea manual. For all of y'all that didn't know, he wrote a second book. It's called On English Peas. You want to know how to grow them?
You want to know how to grow English peas?
Or sweet potatoes? Go over and buy a book.
See now, Oldie P says, Danny, we are ordering our seeds for one zone colder. That is wisdom. You need to start considering, if you live in a northern climate, of planting stuff and getting seeds from plants that grow in a colder climate.
Okay, Old South wants to know how far
apart does corn need to be to prevent cross-pollination? Probably a quarter of a mile.
Homestead Mama lost tomato plants too. Yeah, she's a little further north than us. She's about, what, 5 hours?
Yeah, she's about 4 or 5 hours north of us. Yeah, well, she's almost to Tennessee. I mean, so
they're getting some colder weather.
Laura says, if it freezes, can you cover your crops? I can cover my tomatoes, but anything else,
no.
Probably not.
John Hendrickson said he froze all his blueberries and most of his figs. Oh my goodness!
Wow,
that's what we've been so afraid of. All our huckleberries will be ready to pick in a little over a month.
Yep.
Our blueberries already have
blooms
are all over.
Well, the blueberries is already on the trees. Yeah, I looked today. Now. Yeah.
The figs are already good-sized figs. Y'all, we would lose a lot if it freezes right now. Plus the potatoes. I mean, the English peas, we've got so much going on, we would lose most of our food for the year right now.
Yeah.
Food and fruit.
We would lose a lot. Sarah says, how many of your citrus trees have been hit by the frost? We've completely lost our lemon tree, and from now on, we're not going to be planting any of our citrus trees outside. I'm going to trees. Citrus trees grow according to the size of the container, so we're going to be putting our citrus trees in containers where we can bring them into the greenhouse during the wintertime so we do not lose them anymore.
Yeah, and the orange tree, it froze the majority of the orange tree. It is coming out in spots.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to trim the orange tree way
back.
And the other Satsuma tree was really pretty last year, but it hasn't even started, but just in a spot or two coming out. So
see, what happened to Kenneth is what I'm afraid is going to start happening to everybody. He said, I'm done, or they said, I'm done for the year, out of money, now lost too much already. And that's what happens to people. When you have to start buying everything to do your gardening with and all, you can run out of money real fast if you get froze out, and it's just too hard on you.
Yeah, and see, South Georgia says his taters already had 2 frost on them since he planted them. It's hard with this weather flashing back.
We had three frosts on ours, but it was patchy frost. It wasn't a good solid hard frost. It was just patchy.
Yeah, so that's the deal. It's getting harder and harder to determine when to plant and when not to plant. And we took a chance and planted early, but we've had some good cool weather on all of ours, but it hasn't froze yet. It's been cold and, like you said, patchy frost, but we've not lost anything yet. Doesn't mean we won't.
Sarah said her lemon trees was hit hard and she don't know if they're going to come back. Well, if it comes back below the graft, you just will throw it away.
Yeah.
How far south would the coal zone be for the solar minimum? I'm just south of I-20 in Texas. You are...
borderline?
That's borderline. Because they have the solar minimum dipping way down into Texas and going back up through Colorado, back up over that way. So, just north of New Mexico. But the New Mexico mountains are saying it's going to be frozen too. So
now, Azaline says, I use a row cover over my beds and start veggies in the growing season here in Nova Scotia. People up north, like Canada and places, know more how to deal with the cold and when to grow than people like us because we're not used to it. If the cold was to dip down here more and more than what we're used to, we're not used to growing. But up north, where they're used to having shorter growing seasons, they know when, and they have their equipment in place where we don't have that. And it's a whole new ball game when we start planting like that.
Becky, the weather for us is going to be, we got 2 more days without rain. We're going to go into a rainy spell for 3 or 4 days. It's going to drop back into the low 40s. And then it's going to warm back up to the 50s and 60s.
Oldie wants to know if ordering seeds for one's own cooler might help. They're in south central Missouri.
Zone 6. I would do that. I would definitely look for plants that is one zone cooler than where you are now. Because that's just, with what's coming, that would be the best thing for you to do. And also plan on growing more cool weather crops than warm weather crops.
Azaline says a hoop house is great for them in Canada.
Yeah.
All right, so snow here did not hurt the beer crop. That's Sinclair.
Sinclair. I figured it had to. I didn't even see the name.
I was wondering when I read it. I didn't even see him. I'm like, okay, Sinclair. So Two Family put up our Etsy store for those that were asked, and New Day Farm, howdy.
Bumblebee said, I just noticed I was kicked off your subscribe button and the bell. No wonder I haven't been seeing anything from you two. If you don't see something from us every day, go check, because we put up a video every day. With a space heater to prolong my season, mid-June, first week of September. That's Kenny Poisson.
Yeah, and Jessica's wanting to know, wouldn't a greenhouse help prolong our growing season? We have a greenhouse, but it's very small compared. We've got tomatoes and peppers and... But
greenhouses, the only thing a greenhouse does for us here in the deep south where we're at is to keep our plants from dying over winter.
Yeah.
We don't ever grow anything in it that has a lot of life-sustaining stuff. Because even in the middle of wintertime and where our greenhouse is, it can be it can be 30 degrees outside during the day, and it can still be over 120 degrees in the greenhouse.
Yeah, the sun warms it up so much here.
And John Hendrickson's right. In Florida, we will finally get to have good apples. And our apple trees are bloomed out like crazy this year.
If it doesn't get a freeze and kill anything, we should have a lot of apples. That's one blessing from this cold weather. Will the Cherokee tan seeds be okay in the freezer?
I would not put them in the freezer.
They don't really need it.
They don't need to go in the freezer. And Mark said something up there.
Wolfer Matt, hey, he's in the White Mountains in Arizona.
Oh, wow. Hey, Matt.
How are you doing? I bet that's a pretty cool place.
He said White Mountains. He's probably right.
Is it cool there?
Yes, it's been snowing up in those areas.
Okay, so.
We just got 17 inches of snow in Iowa, they said.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Kenny said, Danny, that was pretty good with my last name. Most just say poison. How did you say it?
It's poison.
Oh, okay.
How far apart were the circles did you plant with Amanda on the Three Sisters garden? They're 4 feet apart in rows that are 4 feet apart. So it's actually 4-foot squares. We got seeds.
April says their strawberry plants
haven't fruited yet. We got them from y'all a month ago. It's going to take a little while, April.
Ours are just starting to bloom.
Ours are just starting to put.
I think I've got, 3 little strawberries.
She picked 3 strawberries the other day. So I noticed there was some ready today.
Yeah, something will get them before I get out there. I'm not used to it yet. I've got to get in the hang and the swing of going out every day and checking for stuff, because strawberries is our first berry. All right, so
busy red cowpeas or those kidney beans?
They got them from the
gathering.
I really don't know.
If it's a cowpea, it's not a kidney bean. Those are two different ones.
Yeah. Man, we could use Matt back. Ask Matt, does he want to come on back to Mississippi for a while? Danny and I miss Matt too.
We miss Matt. Matt was getting a lot done around here.
Yeah, we could.
Right now we are bowed up.
We could use Matt back
with planting.
Again.
Yeah.
And we haven't brought any more woofers in because we had so much company coming in through the gathering. So I just kind of relieved us off the site for a while until after the gathering, and I haven't put us back on there yet.
Saddle Ridge says, well, I guess Pennsylvania will be the new Alaska if the solar minimum hits like you say. Well, they say Pennsylvania, all that up through there is going, the snow will never go away in about 10 years.
Yeah, they have shade cloths over the greenhouses. That would be something that Danny and I would have to look into if we decided to raise anything in the greenhouse other than tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah.
Do we have dewberries? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We have dewberries everywhere.
They've been blooming like crazy. They've got little dewberries everywhere. We will be picking strawberries now and mulberries within the next couple of weeks. The mulberries will be coming in, along with the dewberries, then the blackberries, the huckleberries, and then the blueberries. Right?
When is it too wet?
And then
what is too wet to plant? Well, if you can't work the soil, it's too wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Tim.
I see Tim. I've seen that.
That is so wrong.
Angie said, I got seeds. I have no clue what they are. Guess I will find out when I plant them. Got English peas and zipper cream peas. English peas are cool weather. Zipper creams are warm weather, Angie.
And zipper creams are some of the best peas, believe me. They're a type of field pea. Matt said he wished he could be there to help and learn. I'll let you know when I'm headed back in your direction. Great, because we would love to have you stop back by.
Yeah. Problem is, when he gets here, it'll probably already all be planted.
Yeah, but then it comes the harvest.
Oh, that's true.
We could teach him how to can.
I planted a lot of bare root strawberries. How long do they take to come up? Well, if you planted bare root and you got the crown right on it now, because the crown's got to be level with the soil and not below the soil, it could take 2 or 3 weeks for them to actually start sprouting, and you will not get berries this year. It will be next year before you get berries. There's active agent.
She wants to know how my microgreens are going. Well,
not good, because I looked today and they're all wilted down because she didn't water them.
The deal is they turned in from microgreens to actual greens.
To actual full greens.
Full-size greens for eating. And then I didn't water them yesterday. And I did water them today, but I might have waited too long. They were wilting like
They were wilting
crazy.
bad, yeah.
What do huckleberries look like? They're a tiny blueberry, basically.
They're about the size of a... They're not as big as a pencil eraser. They're smaller.
About the size of a BB.
About the size of a BB it goes in a BB gun. A little bit bigger than a BB it goes in a BB gun.
Not much. And it takes a lot of them to mount up. But we have planted them along our sidewalk instead of having bushes that everybody plants along the sidewalk. We have huckleberries.
Somebody said, what do you do with mulberries?
I make jelly.
We make jelly out of ours.
I make jelly. And then we found a recipe in a book today or yesterday that you can make mulberry barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, but it sounds like it'd be good.
John Hendrickson's said, have you seen the cold that's hitting Europe and everything? And I have, John. And I have seen that it has destroyed most of Europe's food supply. And they are fixing to be in trouble.
Sandy wants to know how often does she need to oil the wooden spoons and cutting board.
It depends on
how often do you use them, because when you put them in water or you cook with them, I would say oil them at least the first few times.
Yeah.
And maybe every time you use it, oil it back down with olive oil a little bit for a while anyway.
Rob says huckleberries are bigger than that there. Some of ours is about half the size of a pencil eraser, but most of them is not much bigger than a BB here.
Small.
They're real little. And you can pick all day and not pick a half a quart.
Hey, out of Goshen. They popped in.
Oh, that's cool.
Not sure where they're at. They're traveling too.
Well,
I hadn't seen which state they're in.
Doug and Stacy said where they were at the other day. Said they were somewhere up toward Tennessee or somewhere up that way, I think.
Yeah.
Do we make some homemade sauerkraut, and can you show us how to make it? We do not eat sauerkraut.
No. I just, that's never been one of my things. I like cabbage steamed down. I like it in coleslaw, but I do not like sauerkraut. So.
Delane says, Danny, my strawberries are getting ripe, but they are small. What can I do to make them bigger? Lots of fertilizer, lots of water.
Yeah, they need water every day.
They got to be watered every day.
And I saw John Hendrickson was saying something about, was it Britain?
Oh, hold on. Jen at the Nut House. Yes, if it's starting to bud, it may be, I hope it's not too late, but if it's starting to bud, cut it and send it now.
What is that?
For our mulberries.
Oh, yes. John Hendrickson was saying that Britain had issued a statement that they were 5 meals away from anarchy.
Oh, I believe that. I've been watching all of what's going on over there. It's bad. I keep trying to tell people they're not getting this polar vortex that's taking place around the North Pole up there. It actually split here the other day and formed 2 polar vortexes and had a warm spot in between, which means that the snow is going to be 10 times worse than it was. You know, I mean, I can't sit on here and explain it because it's just too hard for me to do.
Do we like pickled cabbage? No.
No. We don't like pickled anything except pickles.
Yeah, that's about it.
Are we going to have to build greenhouses for our livestock? Dale, you probably have to have greenhouses to grow food if you're where it's that cold at, so that you can just survive.
It's just, is it going to be? It's not going to be all year long. It's just.
In some places, it's going to be all year.
Yeah, as it changes, but some of it is going to be.
You'll have time to work into it because it's just going to be gradually going into it. It's not like it's all going to happen all at once overnight. You know, I mean,
it's a gradual. Every year, you'll notice a gradual thing. So.
Lots of people like sauerkraut. We're just not ones that do.
And I don't like beets. She
don't like beets. I love beets, but she don't like them.
Just gonna say I don't like celery.
Kelly Hale says, when do you prune berry bushes? Now I don't know which kind of berry she's talking about. I don't know if she's talking about blackberry, blueberry.
This is not the time to do
You
it.
only you prune blueberries just as soon as they finish ripening on the bush and you've harvested all of them. You prune your blueberries right there at that moment. Blackberries are pruned during the winter time. You take out all the dead canes and leave all the live canes.
Yeah. Okra. Somebody asked a while ago, when do you plant okra? And I meant to ask you
I don't
that.
plant okra until I know that the nighttime temperatures are above 65 degrees constantly and never go below it.
Because they'll never come up. They'll just sit there and...
They'll just sit there and rot in the soil.
Yeah. It's got to be a little bit warmer for okra.
Saddle Ridge says it's been changing for 10 years already. The spring's later than ever. Every year it seems. Where we're at, Saddle Ridge, our seasons are off by a month now. Almost a month, about 3 weeks off. I've noticed that the sun is in a different location than where it's ever been at. So, yes, I agree with you. The Earth has tilted off of its axis. Instead of being where it's at, it's another 5 degrees off from where it was, which means that the sun is in a completely different place, which means that there is going to be cooler climates than normal.
South Georgia Hydroponics. I did get your daughter Lily down on prayer list. What do you think about the LS 4040?
XR 4040. John, what I've heard about these tractors is that they're good. I don't remember exactly which one of the LS tractors it is, but there is one of them that will break the steering on them because the steering cylinder and the tie rod arm are on the same side, and if you ever get that tire up against a tree or a stump or something over there, it will shear the rod off on the front end of it. But other than that, the biggest issue is just the regen systems on them. You got to really watch that and make sure that you do it right, and other than that, I've heard nothing bad about them.
The only one we know that has had major issues is the one we bought.
The one we bought is the only one we know of that has a major issue with it. Now, all of them may have a little bit of something here and there.
But so does every other tractor.
So does every other brand tractor. So, I mean, that's the only thing I know. Tammy says, are zipper peas sweet peas? No.
No, they're a field pea type.
Zipper peas are what's called a southern field pea. They're 100% different than a sweet pea.
But they are awesome. Hi, Rusty Bell.
Oldie P says we can't plant tomato plants until after Mother's Day, and I can agree with that if you're where it's cool at.
Okay.
Becky says I remember laying out getting a suntan a few Decembers ago. Well, we actually remember a few Decembers ago wearing the last two we wore short pants and t-shirts and all during December.
Two winters until this past one. This is the first time we've had very much of a cold winter.
Saddle Ridge said the last storm system they got, the radar showed it revolving backwards. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Didn't you notice one doing that?
I noticed the same exact thing here a while back.
I thought you did. Because he thought it was real. What is a field pea?
A field pea is a southern pea that's planted during the heat of the year. It cannot stand any cold temperature. It has to be warm to plant it.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's gotten warm, and they produce abundantly.
But when
you cook them like you would English peas, I guess. You just boil them down. I mean, I grew up with them, so you boil them down. You season them like you would around here. Most people use bacon grease and season them in salt, but you can put whatever, if you want any flavor, and just salt, whatever. But you boil them till they're soft and eat them.
I keep clicking stuff off, y'all.
Can you give the application for ammonium sulfate and schedule for blueberry plants?
Ammonium sulfate I put as soon as I prune my blueberries. After all the blueberries come off of them, I put ammonium sulfate to them then. And then I put ammonium sulfate to them in the early spring when I see the right after they bloom and I see the little leaves start forming. I put ammonium sulfate back to them again.
Are zipper peas
like black-eyed peas. They
would be similar.
They would be a similar pea to a black-eyed pea. Yes.
But you eat them fresh, they taste totally different.
Barb Simpson says, please pray for my sister. She is in intensive care. So write that down. We can keep that.
Okay, I got it, Barb.
Let's see here.
Harbor Freight has 10 by 12 greenhouses on sale with an online coupon for $5.60 until March 30th. Okay, that's if anybody's looking for the little 10 by 12 greenhouses. Oh, thank you, New Day Farm.
Saddle Ridge is exactly right. That's why I have to be very careful about what I say.
Yeah. New Day says their walking onions are getting seed heads on them. Is ours? Our walking
onions look beautiful.
Awesome.
They're awesome looking. Now they haven't put a seed head on them yet.
So we I think 2 Family Homestead and 7D Farms.
7D Farms, yeah.
We got some from both
and Brenda
of them.
Duncan, didn't
and
she?
Brenda Duncan,
Brenda Duncan,
maybe.
yeah.
If we remember correctly. We planted a long row of them, and they are just, they look better than anything we have probably. Have you ever tried growing turmeric? Yes, I have.
Yes, we have tons of turmeric.
I dug some of that up just to see if it was still okay, and oh my goodness, it smells so good. So I have half a row of turmeric and half a row of ginger, and then in another place I have 2 different other kinds of ginger, so we have quite a bit of that.
Don says, hi Danny and Wanda, I'm in South Texas. I guess the solar cold weather won't reach down here. Don't be surprised. Because the cold, Texas was my first clue that something was going on. Because the cold fronts were reaching slam. They usually go down to about Dallas or Houston area, across there, and then they suck back up to the northeast. This is the first year I've ever seen them hit slam down through Brownsville and go out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Stephanie New says she loves her some grits. I do too, because Danny makes me grits like probably several mornings out of the week.
Yeah.
We eat eggs and most every morning, and ever so often I'll tell him I want some grits. So I like grits.
Sinclair said his walking onions ran away from home.
Yep.
Mama Mitzi says, I haven't had walking onions in years. Where is the best place to get some?
2 Family Homestead asked her if they still have
them
some.
Or Brenda Duncan.
Duncan 1900 Homestead, 7D Farms. These are where we got ours, so we don't know where you would order any. But you could ask them if they possibly would have any.
Okay.
Krista said she loves seeing our gardens. Well,
it's a lot of work, guys, to get that video up, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah,
because Miss Wanda won't video nothing unless that garden's in perfect order.
Well, I do, but I try to clean up. I mean, even doing the tomatoes and stuff, I have worked on that back to Eden, y'all. I'm telling you, it might not supposed to have, but we have so many seeds in our ground that it just comes right on up through it. And I have worked on the back to Eden for, 3 mornings?
Yep.
And it looks good right now. But next week there'll be weeds back. We're going to be dumping more mulch tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, we got to put out more mulch.
We're going to be adding the mulch, and hopefully it'll keep it from growing for a few more days.
Okay.
Tammy says she's trying to figure out what beans and peas will grow in the south. It's according to how far south, but here you can plant most any variety of field peas. You can plant butter beans, either green limas or speckled. You can plant red beans. I mean, any of those will grow in the south. Now, English peas will grow, but you better have them in early before all frost, because English peas will not grow in hot weather.
They won't grow in hot weather. What are your favorite uses for turmeric, Ms. Wanda?
Probably tea for the most part, adding it to stuff, but I don't use a lot of it right now. I've got it in powder form. This is my first year digging it. It's our first year to
have it in the garden. Yeah.
And so I've got to figure out what I want to use it in. You can grind it. I'm thinking about probably dehydrating some, but I hadn't dug it all up. It's like my ginger. It's still in the ground. I was leaving it to see if it would do.
John Weiser said, what's amazing is that LS makes all the New Holland and Case tractors under 100 horsepower. That's exactly right. They do. Okie Rob says you can order the walking onions. Are called Egyptian onions. That's exactly right. They're called Egyptian walking onions.
And Dee said there's no better than the Mississippi Crowder. I love me some Mississippi Crowders. They taste like little bull peanuts. I mean, to me, I love eating them.
Okay, let's see. Where are we at here?
Christy says
So
she's already getting fire ants.
So are we.
We are too.
Oh, Sinclair says, I think I just broke the internet. No video.
Well, I hope it's not us.
Kenneth said speckled butter peas are my favorite. We grew them last year because we finally found some, and it is amazing.
No, he said speckled butter beans.
Oh, we have speckled butter beans here too. We call them.
We did the speckled butter peas. We said
speckled butter peas, and we have speckled butter beans.
Yeah, the peas grew and did awesome, and we're going to do it again.
Don says, you are right, Danny. It got down to 29 degrees this winter. Killed my moringa trees. Yep.
I think it killed mine.
It killed one of ours, I know.
The other two have not come out either, but one of them for sure it killed. But the one in the greenhouse is starting to come out, so I sat it outside today, and I will be planting it in the ground. Plus, I've got the ones started for later, and we will see if I can have some moringa trees before long. I'm going to plant some, just simply put the seeds in the ground. Probably do a video on that here before long, and then we'll see if they come up and do a walk around and see if we have moringa everywhere.
Jen from the Nut House says, make sure you have some kind of fat with the turmeric. It is fat soluble.
I could eat it with bacon.
You eat with bacon.
I don't know. I have to check that, but I'm not sure. I've not cooked with turmeric and stuff, so I'm not 100% sure what to do with it.
Gons, a.k.a. Mike Carey, says, have you ever heard of orange oil, molasses, and water to get rid of fire ants? So, I've heard of it to get rid of native fire ants, but what we have is imported fire ants. These imported fire ants, if you give them molasses and oil, orange oil and all that, they'll just come knocking on your door wanting more.
They love anything like that.
You see, the only thing we know of that kills them right now is gasoline.
Hello, Beth. Yeah, we did do the gasoline things on beds that were not up near the food sources, and I think we made them move. I don't think we killed them, but we
didn't kill the whole bed, but we made them move.
Grandma Rose says she did a video on fire ants this afternoon. Did you kill them? And
they'll move over 2 feet and come back up.
That was our deal. They just kept moving over.
Marshall Farms says, I like to grow the Christmas giant speckled lima beans. We have them, and we grow them also here. But we found out that those grow better in the fall than they do in the spring and summer.
Angie, let me know, because I will check with the butter peas and see, and I will send you some. Okay, I'm having trouble reading today.
Yeah, I know, everything's going so fast.
You can eat anything with bacon except cooked carrots. Hey, cooked carrots is good with bacon. Everything's good with bacon.
Everybody's talking about where they use turmeric. I mean, turmeric,
chili
it's used in a lot of things.
What kills our fire ants is pouring some milk on them. Really?
If you pour milk on our fire ants, they'll come back and take the jug away from you.
Old South that said they planted 110
Whoa!
seeds.
Don't know what to do if they all come up. We put them up for sale on eBay or something. Somebody will buy them.
I guarantee you can sell a lot of them. But if you have a place, Jen at the Nut House, JM at the Nut House can tell you, you can plant them around your place and use them for feed for some of your animals, because they produce the leaves so abundantly. You can pick off leaves and feed them to the animals.
Tammy says, Olin says you just have to learn how to cook fire ants for dinner. Yeah. Are Mississippi Crowder peas garbanzos? No.
No, they're
totally different than a garbanzo bean. Terry says, I planted some black cherry tomatoes today. Well, they ought to do good if you can keep them out of the cold.
All right, Paula wants to know, are huckleberries the same as wild blueberries? I have what looks like small blueberries behind my house.
A blueberry tree and a huckleberry tree, the leaves are completely different. The stems on the trees are completely different. The bark is completely different.
But if you did not really know, you might think it was a wild blueberry, I guess. if you
Yeah.
didn't realize it. So I don't know. We have one wild blueberry tree here, or a group of them in one spot, and so I don't know if we can do a video where we could show what the wild blueberry looks like and the wild
We
huckleberry.
probably could, because we've only got one wild blueberry plant on our property.
And maybe we
We've
can
got
try a
hundreds
comparison.
of huckleberries.
Yeah. And not all huckleberries are alike, guys, because
Nope.
we
We've
went around.
We've got 4 different kinds of huckleberries on our property.
Yeah, we went around
Yeah.
picking berries a couple of years ago just to see, and we paid attention to which bushes and which berries came off of them. And we have a teardrop. We have some that are real tiny, some that are real big, and some that are just medium size. So there's 4 different varieties here, and the leaves on each one is a touch different. If you pay attention, they may look alike, but once you really, really pay attention, they're not all exactly alike.
Okay, here, Danny, have you heard anything about the baby carrots you buy in the store being soaked in chlorine water to preserve them?
I don't doubt it.
I have read something about that. I don't know a lot about it, but I have read that that is one of the things that they're doing, because the baby carrots are so small, they will become real limber and soft instead of staying hard. Will garbanzo beans grow in the South? Yes.
Most any kind. We grew.
We grow anything. We
Most
grow
any kind.
red
What was-
beans. We grow all kind of stuff here in the
What was
South.
that Jen sent?
Um,
I can't ever think what they're called.
adzuki beans.
Adzuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, I planted those and grew some of those this last year. So most any kind of dry bean that can be planted or pea will come up. How many days to maturity on an Amish paste tomato?
Oh, about 65 days, I believe it is. 65 to 70.
Dee said they had gooseberries when they were in Minnesota. That's something we don't have here.
We don't have any of that here.
How many Amish paste did you plant?
This year?
Yeah, how many have you got up?
I've got this so far. I've got 38 plants in the garden right now, and I've got 30 more to go.
That we got to find somewhere to put.
I got to find somewhere to put them. Yeah.
Do we grow black beans? We're going to be growing Trail of
Tear
which
beans
is
this
a
year,
black
which is a
bean.
form of black bean. It is not the black bean that they're talking about, like the Mexican black bean, but it is a form.
They're saying Mud Pie Girl said that Decanter County, Tennessee, is having severe thunderstorm warnings. They're having a group.
Decatur.
Decatur? Okay. Well, whatever. Decatur. I heard that they chopped up pieces that weren't sellable and soaked them. Oh, they're talking about
Like carrots.
Yes. I'm turning the foundation base of single wide trailer into a greenhouse. Oh, that's unusual. Yeah.
Do you think that Mahindra tractors are worth the time and money? Mahindra tractors are so expensive. They're almost like a cotton picking Kubota. But I hear that the warranty work on them and all is not as good as other tractors is. Let me just say that.
Angie's Pantry wants to know if you buy a bag of kidney beans from the store, will they grow?
Yes.
We planted black-eyed peas and, wasn't it red kidney beans?
Yeah, it's red kidney beans from the store
both
as an
of 'em
experiment.
Both of them did good.
Brenda's Homestead Basics said Trail of Tears are very good. Yes, we ate some last year. We grew a few last year, but
we're planting even more this year.
Yeah.
To see how they do. For the most part, we're going to be planting the Trail of Tears. We've got the rattlesnake. We did plant a row of contender green beans.
Yeah.
We have our English peas. We're planting the butter peas. We're going to plant some speckled butter beans. And I have 3 or 4 varieties of peas. Like I want to plant the lady peas, the red rippers, I think some of the Crowders. I think I got a pack of Crowders and possibly some pink-eye purple holes again this year.
Tammy says, what are Trail of Tears, beans or peas? They're beans. These are beans that was grown by the Cherokee Indians on their march called the Trail of Tears, when the United States military marched them from Georgia and Tennessee all the way up around through the Missouri River and across the Ohio River and back down around the other side over into Oklahoma. Most of them died because the march was so hard. It was in the wintertime, and that's why they call it the Trail of Tears. These beans were woven into their clothes and carried with the ladies in the hems of their garments or their clothes. Red Duchess Farms says time to sow 85 days on Amish paste. If you live in a cooler climate, it will be 85 days. If we live in a warmer climate, we can get them up faster and do them faster.
Yeah.
Um,
Angie says she can't wait to plant her Cherokee tan pumpkins this year. All right. We that's one of them we're going to be planting is the Cherokee tan.
We'll be planting the Cherokee tan pumpkin, North Georgia candy roaster. We have the Hopi gray squash where we're going to be planting.
Yeah.
We got several, spaghetti squash, yellow crookneck squash. We're just trying to figure out on our property where we're going to put these
so they don't
cross-pollinate.
That's our biggest thing. Even though we have 10 acres, is figuring out where to put everything that won't cross. And that's going to be very difficult to keep all of them rearranged. That's why we moved the Cherokee tan garden to the front and made it a small garden instead of the big garden he was going to do back here, because it was going to take up so much space as an experiment that we had to just decide to do a short experiment and use the ground for food, because I really am ramping up putting stuff in jars this year.
Mike Carey is just reiterating what I said about Mahindra. That's what I had found out, that they do not want to do their warranty work. Oh, okay. What green beans are tasty?
Most of them. But
well, the contender green beans are a really tasty one that we've grown for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're growing the rattlesnake beans, which is a pole bean. It's a green bean, and they are very good also. Kentucky Wonder beans are good. Charlotte said, when are you going to start your Cherokee garden? We already have. We have our Cherokee corn in, and we have our Cherokee tomatoes in.
Yeah, check out Freedom Acres. I did not film anything of him starting the Cherokee garden, but Freedom Acres put up a video of her and him doing the corn in the Cherokee garden, and then did I video the Cherokee purple tomatoes?
Yeah, today you did.
That's what I did today.
Yeah.
Okay, we put that up today, though.
Not the tomatoes you didn't.
Okay, well it'll go up sometime later. I'm lost on what videos now.
I'm losing as I'm sitting here listening to you.
Okay.
Any news? Let's see. Nancy says, our news says the second wave of the flu virus is starting now. They're actually doing that through chemtrails. Y'all can believe it or not. It doesn't really matter to me, but I know it for a fact. Future
Melissa
Dreams.
From Full House Homesteaders just popped in. Hello, Homestead Mama.
Hello, Mama. Future Dreams from Reality says, if they cross-pollinate, can they still grow and produce? They will grow and produce. You just won't know what variety of squash you get. If you save the seeds, because you won't know which one is a mother plant that it goes back to.
But you would have something.
You would have something. It just might taste horrible.
Or it may taste like if you planted a yellow squash and a white squash together, you might have a cross of the two, and you might not know which one it comes back as and what it tastes like.
Please recommend a green bean for me to plant.
Wasn't that?
That's Brenda? Rebecca Heyman.
No.
I know a Rebecca Heyman. I would recommend, depends on your age, if you don't mind bending over, the contenders are very good. But if you like a pole bean, then the rattlesnake beans are fantastic and the Kentucky Wonders are really good.
When do they plant the Cherokee tan pumpkins?
What's the best time to plant a Cherokee tan pumpkin, Mike? It is after the danger of all frost is past and the ground temperature is at least 60 degrees.
Terry wants to know, have I canned meat before? I have canned chicken and rabbit and ground meat. I did ground beef, and we seem to like all of it so far. The ground meat that I have, I think I canned a year and a half ago, and it still is good when I open it. I opened some recently, just testing. Seems to do pretty good, so yes, I have canned meat.
Tammy said they have Blue Lake and Kentucky Wonder up north. They're great. Those are both good beans, yes.
Homestead Mama wants to know how you protect your gardens from chemtrails. You really don't. Not as much as we plant, Melissa. I mean,
not
you
as much
plant
as we
as much
plant.
as we do or
Yeah,
more.
if you did a small garden, you could probably do it, but on a large garden like we do, we plant acres. We don't plant just a small garden. We plant several acres, and it's hard.
Yeah, it's really bad. Florida
When do you
singularity.
prune your grapevines? Sarah said. We do it in the dead of winter. Ours is already budding out. It's too late now. They'll bleed too bad.
They want to know something about, finish what you were talking about, chemtrail spread and flu viruses. You must have got started in...
There's a lot going around chemtrails right now that they're actually putting the flu virus out through chemtrails. They're also using lithium now. If you notice, if you look up into the sky at night in the late afternoon and the sky is a glowing pink or reddish color like that late at night, even after the sun goes down, then that's a sign that they've used lithium in the seeding of the clouds, because it glows at night in the form of a... I'm trying to show you something. You see this color on this right here? It's maybe a little bit pinker than that.
Okay, so Homestead Mama's actually Ben.
Oh, Ben's done slipped in here under somebody else's alias, huh?
We're going to have to do a Homestead Daddy.
Homestead Daddy channel. There we go.
There we go. Instead of Homestead Mama, Ben's going to have to be Homestead Daddy. All right.
And Christy Betts is right. When it gets hot, the Blue Lake will just outright stop producing. That's why we do the rattlesnake beans, is because in the heat, as a green bean, they will continue to produce.
Hey, Miss Kate, how are you? Miss Kate is Miss Kate, I don't know how, dancing from Blake Kirby's channel. You remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember Miss Kate. Okay, I remember Miss Kate.
Can you do a video about how to read the almanac? That is coming up.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I'm just way behind.
That's why there was an almanac in the Homestead box that they.
That's why we put one in the Homestead box.
That's why it's in there, because
yep.
So many people want Danny to do something on the almanac and how to read it. So I'm going to make him sit down, hopefully this week, and do that, because they need to know before it's too late. It's time to start reading an almanac.
Grandma Rose says, when are you putting up more Cherokee tan pumpkin seeds on your Etsy shop?
I put some up today, but they probably are all gone.
We put a bunch up today, but as fast as we put them up, people grab them. You got to be watching our Etsy store daily, several times a day.
And there won't be any more unless I put a few up tomorrow. Once I count out everything, if there's any left over, I may have 3 or 4 packs tomorrow. So just check tomorrow. After that, it'll be at least a month from now.
Okay, Christy says, yep, I've seen that color at night. Well, when you see that color at night, know that lithium has been sprayed.
Yeah.
Let's see. John Hendrickson said government did a drill on germ warfare in the 1960s. A trial on germ warfare in the 1960s. Sprayed flu virus over Southern California, and then followed up ER and doctor visit counts on sick people. They also done it in Southern Florida. And they also did it, not with the flu virus, but they seeded the clouds in North Carolina here about, maybe I think it was like 4 years ago. And they put a virus in there also. They tried to dry the waters up in that state and see how many people would end up with respiratory problems. Plus, they also lined the men up on a flight deck on a Navy ship and flew over and sprayed them to see what kind of effects they would get from it later on.
Old South wants to know where to get the garden record book like the one on the Homestead box. Look in the description. I put a link to our Amazon where you can get that record book, that specific one. It is in the description of the video on the Homestead box. Because I thought that was a good record book, and so I put that in there so you can get it specifically. Next time, they will
say that they put the Madison prescription vaccines in the chemtrails. Hey, it would not surprise me a bit if they didn't try to put some sort of vaccine in it. The only problem is with vaccines is they have to be intramuscular, most of them, and they have to have an adjuvant in it to carry it throughout the body, which is usually mercury or aluminum. which is very toxic to the human system, and it can pass the blood-brain barrier.
Yeah. People are saying be careful so they don't pull you off YouTube.
I know, I'm sorry guys, but you get me going on this stuff. I actually know too much, and that's what bothers me.
And Laura said they did something up there in 1975 and people got really sick. Yeah, they keep doing these weird things all over the place.
And yeah, I know, Secret of Truth, I know you're exactly right. I have seen that. Guys, look, if you were born before 1960, most of you were injected with a virus that can cause cancer at some point in your life as an experiment.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things out there I could go in depth and tell you about that I choose not to talk about.
Miss Kate said she loved the video on planting tomatoes with corn cobs. So go to Tomatoes on Corn Cobs and get off chemtrails and viruses.
Okay.
Just so we don't get pulled tonight.
I learned that trick a long time ago because we had a drought here in the year of 2000. Been a 4-year drought, and I come up with the idea of putting the corn cobs down in the bottom of a hole and pouring water in there on them. And I was amazed because I was growing tomatoes to sell commercially then, and I was amazed at how many tomatoes I grew by doing that, because those corn cobs got wet down in the ground and they stayed wet, and my plants actually thrived when everybody else's was dying.
Hello, Renee and Leo Baltz.
Hello, Leo.
Leo's gonna.
Leo,
come.
did you get your hogs butchered? I haven't. I know I saw you on Flutie Licks Homestead, I believe it was, made a comment about you had some pigs that needed butchering, and I was just wondering, did you get them butchered?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was fixing to say.
Yep. Okay.
I
I don't know where my moderators.
don't know where our moderators took off to, but we took care of it.
Okay. Yeah, we've got Leo, hoping he'll come back through at some point, and then we've got Adrian and Christopher coming.
Adrian and Christopher
right
coming,
after
yeah.
Easter, so you guys will get to see Adrian and Christopher again.
Yeah.
Mr. Danny, do they have to be dried cobs? Yes.
Yes. And Sinclair just told us where it was at Fort Dix, New Jersey, where they did the swine flu test. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see here. Good night, Miss Sheila.
Yeah, we got to go pretty quick.
Yeah, we got to go too. Gosh, it's already 16 minutes after 9. Oh, my word.
That's what I'm saying. Sherry said she got them. She's reporting them. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry. Let's see. That's the first one we've had in a long time.
Yeah, it really is. Kate said she's been putting eggshells in the holes for years, and that does help.
We put eggshells in our compost out there. So when we use our compost, we automatically get eggshells in ours.
Yeah. And Betsy says you could soak them before putting them in the ground.
You could if you're if it's really dry where you're at, but it's not dry where we are, so we don't have to worry about that.
Put water there, it just soaks up into them, so they.
Because what we do is, as soon as we put our tomato plants in the ground, we pour water around them, and that water runs down in the ground, and as it filters in, now we'll water our tomato plants daily for like a week, and then once the water soaks down in there real good, then it goes away.
Oh, I think we've got Grizz in Andy's backyard. I didn't see all these people. The chat's been running.
No, Grizz has been here the whole time.
Oh, I imagine so, but I'm just now seeing some. And then Andy's backyard. Lots of people in here that I didn't see to start with. What is our email? I want to ask you something about green beans. It is deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
Two Family just put it up. Well, they put the Etsy store up.
They put the Etsy store up, but it's deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
How long does it take a corn cob to dry? Well, when we take ours off the stalk, they're already dry.
Yeah, we leave them in the field.
We leave our corn in the field till it's completely dry, and then we take it off and put it in the corn crib, and it's really dry at that moment.
And Charlotte wants you to do a compost video.
Would you do a compost video one day? I will certainly look into it.
We just dump all the stuff in one pot.
We just have a big black pot out there that we dump all of our scraps into,
and just let it sit
it sit.
You go through and flip it ever so often.
Every so often I'll take a shovel and turn it. Yeah.
It was about half full of dirt, and we just keep dumping food scraps and eggshells and coffee grounds and all that stuff. And ever so often he flips it, and it's been sitting there for about a year, but it was sitting up here for a while, and then we moved it. So probably close to 2 years, at least a year and a half, huh?
Yeah. Yes, Angie, I was talking about that on one of them. Are these chats saved with video by the creator's choice or a new YouTube thing?
It's a new YouTube thing, because we
Yeah.
were not wanting the chat saved, but they started doing it, and I don't know if you can disable it. I've not looked into that yet. A lot of people like it, so they know, because some of the creators don't tell you what the question is or who they're talking to or whatever. They just answer it. So this way you get to see the question as it's asked. We always try to read the question and then answer it, but some people don't, and that's why they've started it, I think.
Okay, John wants to know if we're looking for a tractor around 30 horsepower with 40 horsepower with 30 PTO, which one would I get? If I had the money, I would go with Kubota, because and again, Kubota has problems too, some of them. But Kubota would probably, or John Deere, would be the two that I probably would consider if I had the money. But I didn't have that kind of money, so I went with LS. And right now I've got a 35 horsepower LS, a new one that I bought. Runs like a dream, operates like a dream, so I can't complain about it now.
Terry wants to know, how do we deal with mosquitoes and other biting insects? They don't seem to bother us that bad. We don't seem to have that many mosquitoes.
One thing is, if you have any vitamin or mineral deficiencies in your body, insects will attack you. We've learned that by people coming here. We hardly ever get bit by insects, and people can come here from, especially somewhere up north.
Yeah, people that are
real light-skinned people.
Yeah.
They get eat up.
Yeah. And we don't notice it. About the only thing that really bothers us is early in the morning we have what we call no-see-ums.
Yeah.
You can't really see these little bugs, and they'll leave little bitty specks all over you, and they'll irritate you for about, 30 minutes?
About 30 minutes, yeah.
And then they're gone. Every morning at sunrise for about 30 minutes.
Oh, let's see here.
John says he loves his John Deere.
Yeah.
I think John Deere would be a good tractor.
John Deere's a good tractor. They're just, the parts are expensive for them. They're like an International Harvester or a Kubota or anything like that. When you buy those brand names, you're going to pay a lot of money for the parts. And Massey Ferguson's another one. Massey's are great tractors.
Yeah, and lots of people saying they're doing their eggshells back to the chickens. I do that at times, but sometimes we compost, so we're back and forth between it. And I know there was another something up there, but I missed it.
Sinclair says Vicks Vapor will keep biting insects away. That is true. We keep Vicks Vapor Rub here for another reason. It's an old survival trick, and Sinclair will know about this because he's in the military. In the case of lots of death or carnage or anything like that, where there's lots of smell involved with dead bodies and stuff, you can put Vicks Vapor Rub and put it right underneath your nose here on your lip up here, and you will not be able to smell the deadness that's around you and the carnage that goes along with it. It will help you keep you from getting sick at your stomach. It's just an old survival trick.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Have we answered most everything? No-see-ums bite like crazy. Yep, they do.
They do, especially if you're close to a water port or anything. Boy, they're really bad.
We were picking blueberries in the end of May, 1st of June. They're awful, awful, awful.
They are bad. But it's only for about a 15 to 20 minute period in the morning.
No more than 30 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, let's see here.
So I think we're pretty much past most everything that I know of.
What can you do to get rid of stink bugs? I've had them all winter. If you've had them all winter, that means it has not been cold where you are.
Night, Angie's Pantry.
Good
We're
night,
headed
Miss
off.
Angie. We're fixing to head off too. My eyes are starting to get heavy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sarah said it's the same with how people had the bird masks in the plague age. Yes.
Yeah, to kind of keep them. What is the name of the video with the link to the
I'm
garden
sorry.
record book? It is.
It's in the description below that video.
Wait, it's called Homestead Nations Go Wild Over the Homestead Box. It starts out Homestead Nation Goes Wild Over the Homestead Box, and it's in that description.
Oh man. Deborah Oster said, I use Vicks salve when my husband has bad gas. I had to laugh about that one. Oh.
All right, so.
Okay, we have got to get off of here, guys.
We could answer questions all night.
We can answer questions all right.
We'll be back next week. Just keep your questions handy.
We'll be back next week, Lord willing.
Yeah. Okay, so right now we have Barb's sister that's in intensive care, and South Georgia Hydroponics, was it his daughter Lily, I believe?
Yeah.
Faye and Roy Cartwright. Now, I've not seen Miss Faye in the chats in a long time, and the last time I talked to her, Mr. Roy was not doing real well. She was having to she was like 24-hour-a-day care. So you guys remember Miss Faye and Mr. Roy. Doc D or D225, Miss Kathleen, Amy Sutherland. I talked to her this week. She had just gotten out of the hospital. She is having some very severe issues, and we need to pray for her. And she is such a special. That's Danny's girlfriend, by the way.
Yep.
That's what he calls her. And she's had a lot of issues for probably about a year now. I mean, she really needs our prayers. And then Nikki and Fred Stanley. We just have to keep our YouTube children.
Yep.
I guess Amy's one of them, and Nikki and Fred are kids. We've got so many YouTube family that we just want to keep them all in prayer. Okay, guys, we're gonna. Charlotte said she's having spine injections. Y'all keep her in your prayers. Got a lot of people fixing to get off. Got to go to bed, so we got to do the same thing. So we're gonna go ahead and have a quick prayer. And we're going to get off here and let y'all get to bed. We done been on here for an hour and a half. So, Okay. Father, we come to you tonight, Lord. We just want to tell you how much we've really enjoyed the chat tonight. Father, thank you for being there for us and giving us such good people, Lord, on our Saturday night chat. We love each and every one of them. And, Father, because of that, we want to lift them all up in prayer. We want to come before your throne, and Father, ask that you look down and that you meet their needs, Father, because I've noticed there's lots of them here who are having some procedures done. Father, they've a lot of illnesses and physical infirmities, and Father, some have financial issues and some have health issues here, and Father, just I would like to ask them from my part for their part, that you would come in and, Lord, that you would just meet these needs for them. Because you're such an awesome God. Even though you're a just God, you're also a loving and an awesome God that you said the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. And, Father, I'm not trying to say I'm righteous, but, Lord, I am praying on their behalf tonight. And I'm asking you to just grant them the desires of their hearts, Lord. A lot of these are people who are trying to get homesteads up and running. They're trying to get things going in their life to be able to survive the upcoming uncertainties in this world. And Father, I'm going to ask you to help them to be able to have the financial means, the physical means, and to have things put before them, so that have open doors put before them, so that they'll be able to purchase the goods that they need, and will have the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding that they need to be able to move forward and to be able to survive these upcoming grand solar minimums and uncertain times in our future based on financial collapses and stuff, Lord. I'm just praying that you will meet the needs of all of these circumstances for these people, and Father, give them good health and give them peace, and most of all, comfort their hearts, and Lord, just let them know that you're there for them when they need you, and
And Father, we want to be blessed so that we can reach out and continue to bless them and to be able to glorify you and uplift and just honor the kingdom of heaven, Father. And that is our desire. We don't want to ever back down on our faith. We want to continually put our faith out there, Lord. We would never tell anybody what they should believe, but we just want to be able to say, hey, there's a God and He loves you. And that's what we want to portray, Lord. No one religion, just there's a God and He loves you. And He wants you to be a part of where He's at. And Lord, that is our prayer tonight. That everyone here that's on this chat tonight is one day we'll all sit down in heaven and we'll be able to talk about the good times we had on Saturday night chats, Lord. Father, thank you for being good to us, and I pray everyone here gets a great night's rest and a good night's sleep. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Okay.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, moderators.
Yes.
I do see Two Family is mentioning a challenge she's got going on. It's to help raise money for Maya's daughter, Michaela. Michaela has, if you want to know what the issue is, the disease that Michaela has, or it's not really a disease. What would you call it? It's a, I don't know the word I'm thinking of. Anyway, she was born with something.
She was born with some defects.
That causes her bones to dislocate. And
yeah.
Sherry at Two Family Homestead does a good video explaining that and telling you about it and why she's issuing a challenge. And I think she put the link in the description. Michaela is wanting a Ogo, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a particular type of wheelchair that she can go outside on.
Yes, because they live on a homestead. She can walk at times, but at times she can't. And when she can't get out and move around freely in a normal chair. And this would give her the freedom to get outside. So check out Maya Crosby and check out Two Family Homestead, because she did a video and she explains, I mean, she really did a great job explaining what Michaela has. Yeah. And so I think there's
Firefly Moon Pie.
Yeah, a lot of the people that were at the gathering are in here, and we just appreciate all of you. We would love to have spent more time individually, but if you guys are ever in Mississippi, let us know. That's our way of getting time to spend with people. If they're coming here, spend a little time down here. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, moderators, for being there for us tonight. We had a few unprecedented events happen, and thank y'all for being there for us to step in and to deal with them. Even during our prayer, I noticed we had some, they had to be deleted. So
thank you, Sinclair. He said he would watch the video in a little bit. Yeah, I appreciate any of you that would watch that video. And what state are they in? Maya is in Mississippi. She's about an hour and a half away from us. And when Danny was in the hospital, Maya's the one that came to the hospital and brought us apples and snacks and stuff like that. Yeah. The one person that did show up.
She's the one who showed up, yeah.
And spent probably an hour and a half, 2 hours just visiting with us that night. So you guys, she's one of our specials. You go check out Sherry's video. Go check out Maya's channel, because she also has information there. And we'll see you guys later.
See you guys later. Have a great and a blessed night.